welcome to Gamersledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me this week is, of course, Dave.
Yeah. Hi.
The best part is that I have the wrong one up, so you're still the giant head. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
the things are working my way. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Let me-
And then, of course, Matt, who's... Yeah, there you go.
Hi.
Ugh.
We should do this every time.
It's like
Force
a
everyone-
double ring commercial or something.
Oh, it's E3, and it has been craziness, mainly because it's been 100 degrees in San Francisco, and I've been sitting in a room with bright lights shining on me in 100-degree heat. It's not been great. But I thought I would share a story before we get to our normal stuff here about what I did today to try and beat the heat, just so that Dave could laugh at me. So I thought I would science this today. It's super hot. I have a powerful fan, but it's not cooling me. So I thought, and I was talking with Ken yesterday about portable air conditioners, and I was like, what if I got a cooler and filled it with a bunch of ice packs and ice, and then blew the fan directly into it, but angle it so that it blows on me coming out of the cooler. That does not work.
No.
There was no reduction in the temperature of the air whatsoever.
No.
I just wasted like 3 trays full of ice.
You would have been better off just blowing the fan across the top of the chest, because if the air above the chest got cool enough to the point where it might give you a little bit, blowing it into there, yeah, you lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket Raccoon in my Guardians of the Galaxy Cup with the ice that's still left over from me trying said that this would work. He lied. You lied. Science lied.
No,
He was
no,
just trying to
actually,
get that guy's leg.
you just didn't know science. Science did not lie to you. You just forgot to pay attention that day in school.
Don't make me every day in school. Yeah, so let's go around and talk about what we've been doing, watching, playing, and we'll start with you, Matt.
Oh, goody. Let's see. I didn't prepare a list this week, so let's see.
Wait, were you
Played-
Scottish right there? I did not prepare a list, Captain.
I didn't prepare a list.
Scottish.
Scotland. We actually have a steer pasture kitty corner from the house where we walk past with the dogs, and there's one Highland steer in there, and I've named him Shags because he's shaggier than all of the other steers, and so he usually always gets some kind of greeting as we walk by. But it's often something to do with, there can be only one because he's the only Highlander in the group.
Nice. I was going to say, you're missing an opportunity here, but you didn't disappoint.
If you cut off his head, is it kosher? I think so.
It could be. I don't know.
Just saying.
But there was one day where it was really chilly out. Like it would drop down to like 50, and the other cattle are all kind of just huddled together, and he's out there prancing around. I'm like, it's a sunny day in Scotland. And a balmy day in the Highlands. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Let's see. I tried out Borderlands 2 for a bit because I've never played a Borderlands.
What'd you
I see
think?
I see how that series was the progenitor of a lot of what we have now, or at least in the early days of. Wasn't bad. This is ye old basic mission-based shooter of numbers coming out of people's heads. So I always kind of avoided them because that always sounded like they really were kind of designed for multiplayer, and I really wasn't keen on that concept. So I don't know if I'll play it much, but I went ahead and gave it a shot. There's lots of guns. I gave it a shot. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
I get it. It was clever.
Okay. I tried out Sonic Mania, and it's probably a good Sonic game because I hate it. Let's see. I didn't know. Nope. Didn't do any of that. I broke down and bought Detroit because it was on
Oh,
ridiculous
right.
sale with
Thanks.
the Days of
That
Play.
I was trying to remember what the second thing I bought was, and that was it.
How much
Haven't
was
played
it?
it yet, but I bought it. So
$7.
yeah,
Oh, really? Is it still on sale?
yeah.
Yes.
Through
Oh.
the 18th, I believe, is the Days of Play.
The bad thing is
Huh.
I can't remember the third thing I bought. I bought 3 for $22, and I was like, these are like, I know they're really large games, but I don't.
I
Remember.
will get to them eventually.
Yeah. Mitchell picked up Shadow of the Colossus and with the Best Buy Game Club thing that I still have active. That was like $15, which was cheaper than you can get it on the PSN, and Kingdom Hearts 3. So, and that was 20, I think. So yeah, this has been. I also picked up the. I call it the Deku controller because the color scheme on the controller is completely Deku from My Hero Academia's color scheme. So I picked that up because one of my black controllers is starting to go a little fritzy. I've lost more controllers for this system than any other system I have ever owned. The launch controller and the same one that I bought at launch are both completely gone. They're dead. They got thrown away. I have a third one that was after the revision that's already starting to die. I still have dual shock 3s and 6 axes that work completely fine. They no problems whatsoever. But I don't know what it is about these
I
DS4
had
controllers.
I had
like
issues with PS3 controllers.
Did you?
Yeah, for some reason I went through a bunch of those.
I have all 4.
I was having like connectivity issues with them. Like they would just like lose connectivity, and like I'd have to like plug them in, and then like one of them just like stopped working without being plugged in, so it became kind of worthless. It was weird. You just reminded me of that.
I have the 3 I bought at launch, and 2 of them have split rubber on the analog sticks, but that's the only problem.
Oh yeah, the sticks stopped working. Yeah, the rubber. The 2 launch models I had, the rubber wore off long time ago.
Yeah, those
But
were
eventually
basic
the
back.
sticks just and then the sticks just stopped working. So
But I have a
don't-
blue, my favorite blue one, which is amazing, and my silver one that I got sometime after launch, and those have been fine too. I still use the black ones every day, but
yeah, the silver and blue ones, those would have been after the redesign, so those should be more okay. Let's see what else. I thought that pretty much covers what I've played. I don't think I really done much in the playing arena. I'm sure since the last time I've been on the podcast, I'm sure we played. We beat the For the King campaign. Or For the King.
What? You beat it?
Yeah, first go.
That's insanity. I have not died.
Yeah, we got through the end. I thought we were gonna lose it on the final final boss. We were that close to party wipe, but we pulled it off. So yeah, so we beat that campaign.
Was there cheering and rejoicing in the Coon household?
There was. It was pretty exciting. That was the playthrough with my daughter and one of my sons.
Nice.
And we started another campaign on the normal difficulty tier, and we haven't gotten very far yet, so we haven't really done much with that. Anything else I've played in that time period, I don't recall. But the other things I've been doing, I just finished season 2 of The Dragon Prince, which is really good. It's worth suffering through the first 9 episodes animation. Season 2, they did adjust the jitter or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, good.
So it's still stop motion-y, but it's not nearly as noticeable. So it doesn't. There are times in season 1 where you just go, I can't watch this. That never happens in season 2. The story is great. It's pretty great, high fantasy stuff. The voice acting and the script, they're all really, really good. It's got the characters where just about the time you think you're finally, and then no. So yeah, it's definitely a one that I'm going to keep watching as the seasons keep coming, which I assume they are. It's set up Avatar Last Airbender style, where each season is a book and each episode is a chapter. I think each one had 9 episodes in it so far, so it's only 18 episodes total so
Is
far.
he doing that for you too, Dave? Like he put
Yeah,
his hand.
that happened.
Yeah. Are you
What
putting
happened?
Are you putting your hand over something? Because that's where your mic is. It's. I don't think it's in your headset. Suddenly.
In my
No,
headset.
it's coming through your headset, but it was like you had put your hand in front of your microphone for a second somehow.
Well, I do talk like this a lot.
That's weird. Never mind.
That's weird.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Now I just had it. Now I just totally lost it. Started Good Omen. Is it Good Omen or Good Omens?
Good
Good.
omens.
Good omens.
Good Omens. Largely because David Tennant. So enjoying that so far. Mid season so far. It does get a little meandery at times, but overall it's a really good show. So enjoy watching that. We haven't picked back up in Cloak and Dagger yet, so we're like halfway through the season in that. I know the finale's aired, but we haven't watched it. Gosh darn it, what was it Mitchell and I were watching the other night? Can't remember. Watched Rim of the World. I don't know if Mitchell talked about that at all when he was on before the last week. It is an attempt to do an 80s style coming of age kid action movie. It's an attempt. If any of
It's
you know
not
if any of you know who Mick G is, it's his jam. So as you can expect, it's none too mature. Yeah, if it came out in the 80s, we probably would have thought it was a fairly decent movie. But as it stands, it wasn't the biggest waste of 90 minutes I've ever spent in my life. But I can't say I would recommend it necessarily unless you're just looking for something goofy to do. Yeah, and yeah. Anyway, no, we won't talk about that more unless anybody wants to.
All right. Do we need to have our fight now, or can we do that after this segment? Avengers.
Well, I figured we were going to go through East 3 stuff was our feature,
Yeah.
so we can do that there.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't want you to be
Okay.
rage contained.
Oh no, I'm good. I feel like there's another big thing I watched that I'm missing, but I can't. I know. Krypton Krypton season 2 started tonight. There's something else I finished watching. I can't remember what it is. Anyway,
Maybe move your mic closer, maybe, and it'll stop doing that.
how's that?
Good.
I will talk for a few seconds to see if it keeps doing whatever it is that you think it's doing.
No, you're good now.
Okay, I moved it away because I was getting air blast in it, so I can move it there. But now it's out of the path of the air breath, so I don't into the microphone.
Dave!
Yes.
Save this podcast.
What have you been doing in the last time since we saw you?
I will try. Let's see. About to sneeze. Okay, we're back. Let's see. I actually have played some games.
Lies.
Shocked there, some indie games right now because I'm kind of heavy into that.
Did you pick up Slay the Spire yet?
No. Mainly out of spite.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say... I mean, it ticks every box you have. Indie, check. Role-playing, check. Card battling system, check. Quirky, check. Awesome art style, check. Under $25, check. So, why would you...
Mainly there was a sale.
Roguelike.
Mainly there was a sale on Devolver Media, Devolver Digital.
Wait,
stuff.
is it really Devolver stuff? or is it Devolver knockoff stuff that they created?
No. It was actually the Devolver stuff in the Switch store. So I ended up buying Enter the Gungeon, which I haven't even played yet, Ape Out, Broforce, which I was playing through heavily again for reasons I can't really explain because it's just fun and I just needed something mindless. I've also been playing Dead Cells. Also, Box Boy and Box Girl came out. I was playing through that.
I love
Another
that
case of corporate lying to us.
Yeah, you were on this upward trajectory of games that anyone may have heard of. You hit Dead Cells, and then you went right back down with Box Boy and Box Girl. I was just enjoying the roller coaster there.
Well, hey, that's technically
they're good. They're good games. They're good games.
So, like, people should know about that one. They're fun as all hell, and it's made by the people that did Kirby. So I gotta love that. And my current obsession this week is Time Spinner, which I think dropped this week or last week, and it's basically Castlevania. it's a total Symphony of the Night style game. It's really well done. It's got a nice story, great gameplay, great graphics. Everything you kind of want out of it. The music's really nice. And it's just kind of scratching that itch that because it's been a couple weeks since I played a Metroidvania style game. So, and I only have Bloodstained coming out soon. That's dropping. Like in like a week or so, right? So we should have that. We should have that real soon. So I've been playing a bunch of stuff like that. I watched an episode of Black Mirror.
I watched all 3 episodes of Black Mirror. That's what it was.
There's
started
only
watching good.
3 in the series, or they've only released 3?
There's only 3 for this season.
Yeah, it's only 3 in the season.
Okay.
And 2 of them are.
That's what you said. I'm looking forward to watching them, but I'm still on season 2, maybe even 1.
Oh, you're still in the good. You're still in the good era of Black Mirror then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are really good. I found myself actually getting confused when I was like talking to people about stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, was it Black Mirror or was it Electric Dreams?
I know. I've thought that. Which one did that come in? Which one was that?
Because I think I mashed them together at this point, and I'm not sure which is which. I'm like, wait a minute, did you see an episode where I was like, basically like Amazon was still functioning, but the world wasn't? And they're like,
that was Electric Dreams.
I'm like, that was Electric Dreams. Then you should watch that.
Yeah. I think though you watched my favorite of the 3 though. You watched the Miley Cyrus episode, correct?
Yeah, which was fantastic.
It was.
I have seen no spoilers, and I would like to keep it that way.
Yeah, no, it's a really I really enjoyed that episode. I think it was extremely well done. I actually think Miley was awesome.
Yeah.
As like acting and everything in it, like it was really well done. I was pretty surprised by the episode, and there was other stuff. There was reasons I had to watch it, first. So I watched it out of order, which is big faux pas, but whatever.
Yeah, well, they did the opposite of Love, Death, and Robots, where they started with the Love, Death, and Robots started with the high point and never got back. They definitely finished with the strong one for
depending on which version of the lineup you got.
There were different versions?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Love, Death, and Robots. Netflix actually played around with the order. Apparently, people were getting the episodes in different orders.
Wow.
There was like a couple.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, apparently there was a couple orientations, I guess, or a couple orders that they were playing around with. Everybody I knew had the same order, so I don't really have firsthand. But
was that the one with Sunny first?
Sunny.
The first episode was Sunny. The MMA.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one I got then.
Yeah, everybody I know that I've talked to, and I remember we talked before, we had the same order, so I can't confirm it, but apparently there was articles out there where they were playing around with that, so maybe some people, got a different order.
And season 2 of that's also been confirmed.
Nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, there were some slow ones in there, but most of it was all really good.
Was the order 1886?
Yes.
Gotta hate you. The
Anyway, sorry to completely derail your discussion. Continue, sir.
what else? Started watching Good Omens. Started watching Succession. Not really much of a geek show, but it's actually kind of awesome.
Is it succession planning?
No.
Oh. Oh, no, that's the drama about the billionaire
Yeah.
tycoon with the media empire.
Yeah, but it has Kieran Culkin in it, who is my favorite Culkin. And he's ridiculously awesome in the show, so it's worth it literally just for him. But it's pretty good stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Saw John Wick 3.
God, I still need to do that.
Dude, you haven't?
I'm so behind on my movies. No, I haven't seen anything.
Oh, so they're finally making money off you?
Yeah. I'm,
Finally
the
happened,
funny part
huh?
is I have like 6 in my queue, which would take me 2 weeks to watch. But
Yeah.
they are making money off me. Finally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that
Finally
plan
happened.
was going to actually work. I finally did it. They just had to wait you out. That's all. That's good.
Just like a gym membership.
Yeah, we went. My buddy and I went to see it. I travel up to my actual work office, which is like an hour and some odd, an hour and a half to 2 hours away, depending on traffic. So I watched it. I met up with my buddy of mine who lives up in that area, and we watched it at this theater we used to when I used to live up in that area. And we literally, I guess that's not the hot theater in the area anymore because we walked right in. Nobody checked our ticket.
Nice.
There was nobody there for anything. And we just kind of walked in. I'm like, I could have saved $26. So that was fun.
$26?
2 tickets.
Okay. Yeah,
They
you
were
were panicking there for a minute.
Yeah, they were like $13 a ticket.
$13 is still terrible, but 26 a ticket that's
It's 22 a ticket here.
Oh,
That's
just
why
a
I have
regular.
the service.
You don't ever go to just a regular theater though. I mean, you
No,
always go to some fancy
regular-
schmancy boo boo boo.
Regular theater is still, I think, 20 or 21. 22 is the IMAX.
that's a lot.
You realize you drop that down to a normal thing, and they could decrease the wages in the San Francisco area by 20%.
Hey, man, I'm just telling you what it is. That's why I got the Movie Pass thing. Not Movie Pass, but the AMC stubs thing.
Yeah.
Did they finally stop charging for a movie pass?
Oh, no. Did I not tell you about that? They
I don't
tried.
think so.
I locked that stuff down.
Did you have to cancel a credit card?
No,
Fake your own
because
death?
I was smart and I did it through PayPal.
Nice.
So as soon as they started trying to push that through after I had canceled the subscription, I said, subscription canceled on this date. And PayPal's like, this will not happen again. Magically
That's
go
awesome.
away. Yeah, so. Yeah.
What scumbags? I told you, I think, from the start. I told you.
Well, no, but I totally said I was going to Peter Griffin that Falcor to the ground. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. As I hit my microphone. But yeah, no, I knew that it was a flaming crashing ship. I just wanted to ride it to the ground. And
I mean, that was literally the, what was that pizza company on Silicon Valley?
Oh, yeah. I know.
It was totally that. It was exactly, when I'm watching that episode, I'm like, this is Movie Pass. This is, are they thinking of Movie Pass when they did this? Or is this just, it applies to so much?
So I have a question for you. Actually,
Me?
Since you're caught up, and you know
geez.
about this, was that the last episode? Was that the last season? Or, because
No, there's another one coming.
Why? They're done. I don't want to see them successful. That's not...
There's another one coming. I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
There's a good chance it could all go away. We know this.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the pizza company.
So,
Okay. All right, did you watch anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Caught up on, I think we talked about, I think the last time I was on is when Doom Patrol ended.
Yes.
Right. So did we talk about that, or did we just talk about that on the side.
I think we talked about that on the side. I
Okay,
mentioned it last week, but
Doom Patrol is actually worth it for the subscription, to be honest.
yeah.
Like, even if you just subscribe to watch one show, watch Doom Patrol, and then cancel. It's fine.
Listen, all I have to say is you gotta watch the thing just for Flex Mentallo. Like, it's Matt, you know how I am about really obscure D-list characters
Yeah.
and how I love them. This show
Yeah.
is like the epitome of that.
So it's West Coast Avengers DC.
No.
Oh, it's worse.
No,
Way
imagine
worse.
if West Coast Avengers were the ninth string team. That's how bad it is. I mean, it's...
So Great Lake Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly, yes. Great Lakes Avengers.
But when oh man, that one character, the Hunter, that I'm not going to put in his full name, that was amazing. That whole thing.
It definitely, the whole series did not go where you thought it was going to go. But
And
I will still
I
say...
actually went back and looked up that character. I'm like, this character did not exist.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
he did, but he wasn't anything like that. Like, they
No.
made significant changes to it, which made it so much better.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. The show is fantastic.
So somebody was trying to tell me today that the subscription price on that was dropping significantly. Is that a true statement as far as either of you know?
I haven't heard anything. I heard another buddy of mine was talking about it because he was about to jump on, and he said Warner Brothers is now toying with an idea of like their own full streaming service, and it was going to somehow, like, they were going to have to incorporate that in to make it, worthwhile for people, but that price was going to be like $15-16 a month. Like, it's the wrong way to go.
Yeah. I mean, the service they're giving now is really good. I really like it. I wish there was more content, but that's about it.
I've been fine with it. I mean, there has been like a steady stream of stuff, and like, reading the comics and everything is great. Them uploading, pretty much most of their comic collection on there, I think is,
it's been
key. Like, they needed that. The shows have been good.
So good that they canceled them after one episode.
Well, no, that was
I know.
Apparently, that was something behind the scenes.
Let me tell you, that was a freaking great episode too.
I was loving it. I mean, it had a total like horror vibe to it. It was so good.
And I don't like horror things, and I thought that was really well done. So
yeah, it was like that nice creepy kind of stuff. Like, it wasn't like overt, but it was just kind of like it did its job. Like, I want to see more. So I'm not going to get it, but
never going to get it.
Hopefully they tidied up the one season pretty nice.
You've got to. All right, we stop there. I'm never not going to take your bait. All right, what I played? I played Slay the Spire, Fourth King, and then I played PoE. And
just a side note on Slay the Spire, I will be playing that. I've had other people actually recommend it too.
And that's what put it over, not me. I get it.
No. I did trust you on that when you told me about it. I'm like, all right, that does sound pretty good. And the only reason I put it off is because like I was about to buy it. And it was like $24, but then all these other games were like 1/3 the price, and I'm like, let me just pick them up because I just want to kind of not think for a little bit.
Yep.
I just blow some stuff up. So Broforce,
which you already owned and could have played for $0 extra, but hey, I digress.
But it wasn't on the Switch. You have to understand the convenience of the Switch is clutch right now.
Okay.
You must have your house set up horribly.
It's just I don't have the basement set up at the moment.
But you have a Vita.
I didn't have Broforce on the Vita.
You had it on the PlayStation.
Was it cross-buy?
It doesn't matter. You could have streamed it from your PlayStation to the Vita. Via remote
Oh, yeah,
play.
I remember. I should try that again, because I tried it like once when they first brought it out, and it was laggy, and I was just like, this sucks, and I haven't gone back.
Dude, I use it all the time, but Granted, with computers now, laptops, but still, I use it all the time. It's fantastic.
I have to. I have to try that again.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So no, you're fine. So I did.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
POE,
Yeah,
which
you can go.
You would think is Path of Exile because that's all I've been talking about for months, but it was actually Pillars of Eternity. I've had that for a while. Yeah, it's a role-playing game. It's a CRPG that was made by Obsidian, kickstarted a while back, and it came out a long time ago. And I played, I don't know, 12 hours of it, and then I just got distracted with other things.
Wait, Obsidian Kickstarter?
Yes.
That must have been rough.
Actually, they got 75,000 people to back it, and the game is amazing.
No, I'm saying the bugs in it. Because Obsidian makes a lot of buggy games.
Nope. He's really good, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, he waited to play it till it had been out for like 5 years, so it's got all the patches and stuff now. So
3 years. 3 years, I think, because they did the second one last year, and that was also kickstarted, but it's a pirate CRPG. I haven't got to that one yet. And then the new league started on Path of Exile, so that was all of my last 2 days playing, and I am level 40 in Act 4 now, or so that's good. I also downloaded all the Telltale episodes, which was a fun game, because PSA, they are being cycled off of all networks, all platforms, so if you own them and you have not downloaded them, or you deleted them to make space, download them now, because you will not be able to after a period of time.
God, I hate that about digital games. Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
I hate that. Okay, I guess we're done here.
Pretty sure I don't think there's anyone who disagrees with you. That is the future that we were all afraid of, and it is come home to roost. I still don't know what's specifically about the Telltale thing that's making these disappear. I don't get how that's different from like other things where you can't buy it anymore, but you can still download it if you've bought it before. I mean, this is full PT where nope, it is no longer in existence, and I don't legally understand the difference between A and B.
I do. It's that their license on the property is running out, and therefore they have to remove it from the service.
Yeah,
because they're not paying any further licensing fees.
Well, that, and also, it's just aside from that, and I can't confirm if this is or is not, but just the fact that if they're not in existence anymore, like somebody's got to pay a bill for upkeep. I'm
Right.
sure there's a recurring cost of just keeping it up there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure whatever profits they make, that's subtracted out of, and then the rest goes to the bankruptcy court.
Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
what a mess.
Yep.
But seriously, we're gonna lose so much crap this way.
Dude, I had to go back and download what was the comic book one, not The Walking Dead, the other one they did that was amazing, with the Wolf Among Us.
Oh, Wolf Among Us.
From Fables. I kept going to the PlayStation store, and the only way I could find to download it was through PlayStation Now. And I had to do some jank thing where I searched for an episode from Wolf Among Us, and that actually got me to the page where I could download all the things. So you might want to look into it before it's all gone, just FYI.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like there was an old on my one PS3, because I have two PS3s, so I have games like downloaded on the one and the other depending on where I was playing it. The Scott Pilgrim game. There was like a Scott Pilgrim game that was kind of like almost like River City Ransom.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic game, and it's just like it does not exist. Like you cannot get it now. So like if anything happens to that PS3, I can no longer play that game.
Isn't it on PS4?
I don't think so.
I might check after, because I kind of think it might be.
Well, I'll pull up the app now and check.
Yeah. think I might have it for my PS4. I could be lying. I could be misremembering for sure.
Well, you do lie a lot.
I do.
Like a rogue, as they say.
I also picked up 3 games in the sale. It was Uncharted 4, Detroit Become Human, and another big AAA game for like $22.
God of War,
No,
Spider-Man.
it wasn't God of War. I already owned Spider-Man, so it wasn't that.
I think other ones that were in there.
There's a lot. There are like a ton of games.
Well, yeah, there are, but I'm thinking of the bigger ones. Days Gone was like half price.
Yeah, no, I won't buy that game. But the funny part is I had to stop because all 3 of the games are like 45 gigs a piece downloads.
Yeah.
So I had to stop all of them so that the Telltale episodes could all download. And I had like 40 of those.
Nothing shows up for Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
It just does not exist.
I wonder if I'm thinking of my Vita. Maybe it's on Vita.
No, it definitely is not on Vita because I would have had it on there for sure.
Oh, I swear I played it recently. Oh, maybe not. I don't know anymore.
Look, you didn't, okay? You just didn't.
I guess. Let's see. Things I've watched. A lot of E3 over the last few days. One Punch Man, new episode came out. They did something that I wanted to comment on that I've never seen an anime do. So, one of my biggest problems with My Hero Academia is the fact that they will spend probably half the episode flashbacking to a previous episode or doing a recap, and that chafes my taxes. That's not a saying, but I'm going to say it. It really makes me angry when I'm doing that. And so, this time, in this episode of One Punch Man, they had a flashback, and they then spent the rest of the episode extending the length of the episode to counter it. So instead of doing the outro song, they used that time for the rest of the story that they had squandered with the flashback. So that was kind of nice. I appreciated that. Also,
I know. I think I watched that episode, and I didn't even catch that. Yeah, that's the other thing I watched. I've caught up on Attack on Titan and that one, One Punch Man.
You know, One Punch Man should not work as an anime.
No.
Like at most, it should have been one season, and that would have been it. But they're still finding ways to make it work, and that really kind of tickles my fancy. I like good writing, and this is good writing. My wife's out of town, so I can't watch anything I would normally watch. I watched Swamp Thing Episode 1, Doom Patrol. I found Robot Chicken is on Hulu, so I'm now mainlining all 10 seasons of it.
Nice.
So, they're like...
Yeah, because that only takes 15 minutes anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. And then I finally started Young Justice, and I am into Episode 3 of Young Justice.
Wait, you've never seen that before?
I've never seen it. So...
Oh, wow.
You were in for a treat.
I have a high bar because I did the whole Batman Superman all the way through the Batman animated series, all the way through Batman Beyond, all the way through Justice League and all that stuff. So that's kind of my measuring stick. So far.
Oh yeah, it fits right in with that, dude.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's totally at home in that group.
So far it's okay, but I'm not liking Robin. That's the only thing I don't.
It gets. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, lots of Rock Band 4 too.
Hi, random.
It's driving me nuts that I can't figure out what that third thing I bought was. I'll have to look later. But yeah, so that's it.
Well, we know it wasn't Scott Pilgrim.
Let's talk about E3.
Ugh.
Mediocre glory. There were a couple good things. Technically it started with Stadia, but we're not going to talk about that because screw Stadia. But you know what?
We have to talk
something?
about it for just like 5 seconds.
Okay,
I'm
I'll talk about it.
I'm totally gonna forget that I pre-ordered that, and that thing's just gonna
You
show up
are.
on my effing door,
It
You
is.
are. You are.
and I'm gonna be
Google-
like, "Damn it!"
Google announced a game streaming service, and it had been touted as the Netflix of video games, to which they did nothing to refute or talk about purchasing any games through their entire 30-minute presentation, except at the very end that said if you did the free service for Stadia, then you would have to buy the games individually. But they, at no point did they really dispute anything about getting free games. You're getting one free game, Destiny 2, and all of its expansions, and we don't know anything beyond that. We don't know if they're coming every month or anything, but you still have to buy your games. So there's that. The other thing that they never really talked about was the fact that you'd probably only be able to play about 2 hours a night if you're streaming in 4K before you hit your ISP cap of one terabyte a month. So good luck, folks. And then if you wanna do Ubisoft's new service, which I'll get to in a minute, you're gonna be paying the $10 a month for Stadia and then the $15 a month for Ubisoft. So you're already starting to add things up here. Stadia sounds like less of a good idea.
Well, here's the thing though. Not everybody is going to be able to stream 4K, so not everybody has 4K TVs.
Right, but
So
the next
plus,
step down is 720p. Who does
Wait,
not
what?
own? Yes, the next step
No,
down.
it's 1080. It's
No,
1080.
dude,
It's 1080. Don't make me go get a screenshot.
dude, there's no way. There's no way.
It's 1080.
You don't go. They don't go 4K to 720p. No, I'm gonna say no, dude. No. Just no.
I'm so having.
I'm saying this without knowing anything, but I know that that's dumb.
Okay, $10 a month gets you 4K at 60 frames a second, and this one doesn't say about the other one. Stadia, Google Stadia. Maybe if I just go to the store, it'll show me.
Oh, this page gives me a headache. Stadia base resolutions up to 1080p,
Up to.
which is up to 4K for the other anyway.
Yeah, 10 megabits. If you have a 10 megabit bandwidth, it'll do 720p. I swear there was a thing that said that if you were only doing the free one, that it was 720. Oh, it says up to 1080p. Okay, I swear I saw that somewhere. I swear I saw it, but
Note, I was reading directly from the Google Stadia page, and you still refuse to believe me.
Oh, cranky old man, leave me alone. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Stadia. There's that.
And I'm seriously like I pre-ordered it because it was so cheap, and it's gonna show up, and I'm gonna be like, huh.
The heck they do this for? You just have another Midnight Blue controller to add to your collection of blue controllers.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
And then you'll be like, one day they'll announce that it's completely changed and it's this new and awesome thing, and then Dave will be like, I have this!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a early adopter of that because that's the other reason I want to squat on my name for once.
Yeah.
And apparently if you get in early, you get first crack at your name, which I totally know that I'm going to sign up on day one and not be able to get the name I want. So.
All right. So EA had their press conference. They showed 15 minutes of Jedi Fallen Order, which looks awesome.
Yes.
And that's all I have to say about it. I mean, it's what is the name of it?
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, it's Force Unleashed 3. Like the level of power of this guy is beyond any Jedi I've ever seen anywhere. So either he's got to die at the end of these games or something. But it looks really cool. And that's coming out November 16th. Apex Legends, blah blah blah, Double XP Weekend, special event. Then we had they had updates to FIFA, updates to Madden, updates to Sim 4. That was EA, and no joke, Apex Legends. So it went Jedi Fallen Order. They got 30 minutes for that. 15 minutes of gameplay. 15 minutes of asking dumb questions to the.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see Greg chilling out like he was. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if somebody hooked him up on cocaine and
that
what,
was fine. I didn't mind Greg's segment. The rest of them were, I mean, at least I knew. Greg was super infectiously, enthusiastic about it.
He was, yeah.
The others were, I'm being paid to say these lines. It was really bad. But the point is, 30 minutes for Star Wars, right? Then Apex Legends, 30 minutes. 30 minutes for Apex Legends. 30 minutes for Battlefield 5. 30 minutes for FIFA. 30 minutes for Madden. 30 minutes for Sims 4. 3 hours.
I'm suddenly glad I didn't watch anything other than the Star Wars segment of this show.
3 hours. It was, I mean, at most, those should have been at most 15 minutes a thing. And, 7 to 10 minutes of gameplay, introduce the thing, say, I'm the lead developer, we're really excited, you're excited, here's the game. And that's it. It was horrible. But yeah, nothing of note at E3, really. I mean, at EA. Then Microsoft. Outer Worlds is an FPS from Obsidian. Bleeding Edge is a new game coming from Ninja Theory, which looked like a 3v3 battler kind of thing. Oh no, it was asynchronous. Asymmetric.
He does that every time.
I do it every time.
It was an asynchronous fighting game. So people just what?
You just enter all of your combos and see what happens.
That would actually be pretty amusing. Yeah, I would actually.
You know something? I actually kind of love that idea.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Dude. I think this could work. I shudder at the logistics behind it. But I'm thinking some kind of one of those ragdoll physics kind of games. And it just winds up looking like one of those grade school slap fights, at the end. And I just think that'd be hilarious.
And it doesn't
matter we need to make this.
What inputs you use, it just is always a slap fight.
Yeah, I think we need to make this somehow.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps coming February 11th, 2020, finally. Minecraft Dungeons, which is actually one of my highlights of the entire show, because it's basically Diablo with
spoilers.
Minecraft things. And it's 4-player co-op, local and online, so that's pretty cool. Coming spring 2020. Blair Witch, which I never saw coming, announced. We were trying to figure out what it was the whole time, and then Mr. J Nice was like, "Hey, is this Blair Witch?" And sure enough, it was. So good on.
Is that coming up on an anniversary or something? Is that why this is a thing?
No idea. Cyberpunk 2077, probably the winner of the overall best moment at E3.
Easily.
Keanu Reeves revealed to be in the game, and then he came out and
stole the show.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's not really Microsoft, so it's not like Microsoft really gets the rub there.
Apparently the character he was in the original Cyberpunk 2020 video game from 1983.
Nice. And his first name's Johnny, as in Johnny Mnemonic, so I'm on board with this.
But he has a propensity for playing Johns, so.
Yeah. Spiritfarer was another game that looked really kind of quirky but interesting. Battletoads. Huzzah.
I haven't watched that one. Is it just straight up a clone of the old Battletoads games, or
no? Then it would be good. This looked jank.
Oh,
Ugh.
well, I wouldn't know that anybody would ever call the original Battletoads actually good. They
Yeah,
were
well, this looks
tolerable.
straight up jank,
Oh.
straight up jank.
Yeah, the original Battletoads, I think people liked it, but like I think they liked it in the way that like you like pulling on a hangnail. I don't think people fully admit that really. Like I think Battletoads was just a badge of honor. Like if somebody actually beat that game, it's just like man,
If you made it past, what was that first biking level? Was that level
yeah,
3? If you made it past that level, you were,
the hoverboard or hoverbike level.
yeah. Oof.
It just became like the bane of every 2D scrolling game's existence.
The hitboxes
I
on those things.
I don't even remember the existence of this game. I have it written down as rig time ? Interesting art style. That's the only thing I have about that one. They
But you don't
announced
remember Battletoads?
No,
No.
he moved on.
No, I moved on.
Oh.
Ultimate Game Pass. They announced $10 a month for
Ultimate
PC.
Game Pass.
Yeah, $10 a month for PC. But if you want Xbox Gold and PC, it's $15 a month, which is actually a pretty solid deal. With over 100 games every month. Flight Simulator actually returns for the first time since 9/11, and it looked nice. So I'll be interested to see if that actually comes to console as well.
God. I remember playing the first one.
Me too. Did I tell you about my? I don't know what. He's my uncle's cousin. I don't know if that actually is any relation
Nope.
whatsoever. So, anyways, he actually flew with other guys from World War II, and he had like a $10,000 setup in his apartment.
Oh, wow.
Like 4 screens and then like joysticks and all this stuff, and that's how they would reenact like World War II strafing runs and stuff like that. I was like, that's pretty hardcore flight simulator right there.
Yeah, I just played the first one on the Commodore 64, so not exactly the same deal.
No.
There was like a sound of like and then a crash would happen.
And that wasn't
And
even
it was like
Commodore.
it was like line graphics, so not much was ever happening.
Wasteland 3, probably one of the largest not talked about things after E3 that should have been. Double Fine acquired by Xbox.
Yeah, the heck.
Whoa. How did I miss that?
Yeah, because nobody talked about it after it happened. Tim Schafer came out and was like, do you want us to make Halo stuff? We'll make Halo stuff. You want us to make... And they're like, no, please don't. Just do what you're doing. Psychonauts is fine.
That actually kind of sucks.
Yeah, they must have dropped a pretty penny on that because
That's what
they're
I'm
not
thinking.
exactly hurting or anything.
Nope. So that was one of the most surprising things at E3. And there was like no press coverage of it after the show. Like it just got swept up in everything and it was gone.
Yeah, I didn't hear that at all.
They must have locked it down on that for some reason, which is weird. But
Yeah.
Oh, well, that...
wonder if that means Psychonauts 2 is now a Xbox PC exclusive.
Yeah, well, of course.
It did not say exclusive before the Psychonauts 2 trailer. So I do not think it is exclusive. If
They
do
probably
it-
already got enough invested in that. They
Look,
wouldn't
that's
wanna
not the
lose
first
that.
time in history that somebody has, locked up rights after a version was like almost all
Oh
complete.
yeah.
Tomb Raider 2.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's still going to go multi-platform.
So far, all the other games from the studios that they were in the middle of that they acquired in that batch are still multi-platform if they were to start with.
Right.
Well, I'm also curious if, Microsoft is eventually going to go, in a way, platform agnostic. But, I mean,
they're already reaching across the aisle to work with Sony on some other stuff. Sony specifically said there will never be a time that Microsoft and Sony converge into one console.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. It makes them more money. So who's it hurting?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to get really weird because you can see everybody setting up all different stuff. say what you will about Stadia, but I mean, Google has the money to try and make stuff work.
Right.
So that model has got a real shot of, that Google doing it actually is giving it a kick in the ass. Microsoft is already, I mean, they're having tiers of consoles where they want, just one that's going to be like a streaming console, and then one that's going to be like the workhorse, that's going to be like offline. They're playing, everybody's playing around with stuff.
And it uses the SSD and the solid-state drive to increase performance. I don't know if you saw that, Dave, but it was hilarious. Lego Skywalker Saga, all 9 films, 1 game.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z Project Kakarot, due in 2020. No idea. It looks like another thing that only goes through the Frieza Saga, which is the first third of the entire series, so hooray. 12 minutes, an interactive thriller. It was interesting because it's top down. We haven't seen that style of game for quite a while. But it seemed to be fully voiced, an interesting story. Way to the Woods was a dark Bambi where you were committing vandalism as a deer.
Nice.
Trying to get back to the woods.
Vandalism?
Yeah, vandalism. Gears 5 coming in September. Dying Light 2 coming spring 2020. Forza Horizon 4 Lego Speed Champions expansion that I was sure was going to make Dave buy an Xbox. State of
Complete
Decay,
with a full-size McLaren on the stage made out of Lego.
that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
State of Decay 2 Heartland. Phantasy Star Online 2 coming in spring 2020. Free to play, only to Xbox. Crossfire X was some exclusive. Tales of Arise 2020. That actually looks really good, but I believe that is also going to be multi-platform. Borderlands 3 dropping 9/19. Game of Souls. The new project from George R.R. Martin and From Software, the makers of the Souls games. It's called Elden Ring. We got zero information other than a teaser CGI trailer.
That made no sense.
Yeah, pretty much. And Halo Infinite will be launching with Project Scarlet as its... I don't even know if it's going to be as a pack-in, but it will be launching at the same time as Project Scarlet, which is their new Xbox that they talked about, which will be arriving holiday of next year, and it will have lots of... Basically, if you haven't been following the spec stuff, it's going to be the exact same thing as the PS5.
I mean, they almost looked like they had taken the talking points of that Wired article and just down the checkbox hit all those exact same things.
Yep. And the SSD and the solid state performance will make things even faster.
Obviously meant to say the DDR, but he said the same thing twice.
Yeah, it was good though. I still don't know.
And
how
it's
that
Project Scarlet for some reason. I mean, I know that's how the actress spells her name, but
frankly, my Neo Sapien, I don't give a damn.
I do, because it's gonna be the Xbox 2 because it's the Scarlet.
It's the Scarlet console.
It's gonna have a red
Scarlet
A.
letter. Yep. No, red X.
Red X. They can't have red. That's Nintendo's color. Although they are buddy-buddy with Nintendo now, so who knows?
Yep. So that was the Microsoft conference. Then came the Bethesda conference. Blades is coming to the Switch for free with crossplay and cross-save with mobile. So now you can play your Skyrim Blades and...
Mobile,
Yeah.
volume, mobile.
Mobile while you mobile, yo dog. I hear you like. Fallout 76 is adding NPCs and quest lines.
To which the entire stadium breaks out in cheers.
To which I said, so they're finishing the game? Question mark?
But that is the thing. They declared that game would never have NPCs. That was not because that they were the first humans to emerge, and so there was nobody to talk to. And now they're just never mind.
It's like, you wanted a game from us. I'm sorry.
I actually
Yeah.
read a really interesting article about Fallout 76 today that was talking about how um,
They screwed up.
Yes, they screwed up, but there was no way.
Everybody hated it.
No, how there was no way that they could give up on it because with Elder Scrolls 6 and um, Starfield so far out, this is it. This is what they have until then. So they had to figure out a way to make it work. So they've been fixing everything that everybody was a problem, building this hardcore player base, and now they're looking like they're just going to do whatever the F they want on top of it. Because if people say, oh, I want a Battle Royale mode, then, hey, here's a Battle Royale mode. Oh, I want, this other weird, kooky gameplay mode. It's kind of going to end up kind of being like GTA Online in that, yeah, you can rob a bank, you can run stores, you can fly in the clouds with a friend, and none of it makes any sense together, but it doesn't have to because they're all fun. Different things to do. And so they're thinking they're going to take this approach with Fallout 76 to make it into what everybody wants it to be until they get the actual new ones out. So
Apparently there was a GameSpot interview with Howard, and he flat out said that, yeah, we knew the game was broke when we released it, but we put it out there anyway.
Well, yeah, and he said it. I mean, that's how he opened it. He's like, it's been a tough year. We screwed up, and we appreciate people sticking around with us. But I thought it was good to address it, but at least they're trying to fix it, so great. Ghostwire Tokyo was probably the most interesting thing to come out of that conference. Looks really interesting. Was introduced by the most Japanese girl ever, one of the devs on the project. She was hilarious, and it was a lot of fun. And it looked very interesting. Commander Keen is an old property that they're resurrecting, and it looked great until we actually saw the gameplay on the phone, and it looks terrible.
Oh.
Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out July 26th. Deathloop, which was a Groundhog Day, the game, but Lee versus Clementine, the game.
Hold on a second. So they brought back Commander Keen. There was another game. It was actually better than Commander Keen. Same type of game. It was like a side-scrolling game on the PC. Duke Nukem was the game. They should bring that back.
Shut up, Dave.
That would have landed if you had been just a little snappier with it. If you got me timing a little better on that would have worked.
No,
but the delay there killed it. Sorry.
And let me tell you, it is no longer a side-scrolling game. It is a jumping vertical platformer.
Oh, it's a phone game?
Yeah.
Where there's...
Deathloop was kind of interesting as well. Groundhog Day, the game, but Lee versus Clementine, the game. Each one of them thought they were breaking the time loop cycle, and they have to kill the other one to do that. But yeah, and it was literally Lee from Walking Dead, the guy who used to do the voiceovers on Hulu with the deep voice. So that was interesting as well.
It looked interesting. I mean, I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I don't know if you pick one side storyline or if they bounce you back and forth or what, but it looked interesting at least.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a straight-up arena deathmatch kind of thing. So, I don't know. We'll see.
If it's that, then that won't be interesting.
Right, we'll see. They announced Orion, which is their server-side middleware for streaming optimization. And they want people to play things on it so that they can get data and sell it to other companies. And then Doom Eternal, November 22nd. And they did a big thing on that. And that was the Bethesda conference. Then...
So, did either of you play Doom 2016?
I own it. It's sitting in my cabinet here. I just like
how is it I'm the normal one of this group?
I have no desire to play. Like, I'm still stressing over the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person shooter. I'm just going on the record now. When you watch the playthroughs that will be on this channel, I will be hacking everything with no combat. I will not kill a single person if I can get away with doing it. I will have
You don't kill
zero
people
combat.
in Doom.
You kill
You've
demons.
seen me play competitive first-person shooters. You know how bad I am at this, and yet Doom is awesome, and I loved it, and I ripped through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll eventually be in that mood, and then I will put it in play. I haven't. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna keep it because I like Doom. Then Ubisoft came along, and they announced what I thought was probably the most innovative game of the entire conference, and that is Watch Dogs Legion, where you collect.
No, I thought you were going to
hackers-
say Just Dance for the Wii yet again.
Where you
Although good
collect-
for them for releasing a Wii game. That's
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, they must have data that shows that people are still playing the games on the Wii.
I don't understand.
Why people are still playing on the Wii?
Like, I mean, that's 3 systems ago.
Well, not
And it
really. You
was-
can't really count the Wii U.
Yeah, and it was also the largest selling system of all time.
But it's like,
The store doesn't even work anymore. You can't even hook it up
Yeah,
online anymore.
No, you can't.
Right.
It's hilarious.
do people know that there's a new game? Like, how are they going to know?
You're living in your privilege, Dave. You just
No,
gotta
I-
step down.
I get no, that I understand, but I don't understand how they're going to sit there and reach people and say like, "Hey, there's a new Just Dance game," and people are going to be like, "Oh, my Wii's been collecting dust for 2 years. Let me break it out." Like,
No, that's not who it's for. That's what I'm saying, right? They must have data that shows that there is X percentage of the Wii populace playing
Still playing
Just Dance games. And
but it's
It could be exercise studios for all we know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Dave is now running this.
Dave's
the
like
prop.
trying to compute the numbers.
I was actually going to say retirement homes, but
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that could be too. You know.
There's a bunch of people that still have Wii Fit boards. Which
There's actually one behind my couch.
see? All right. So Watch Dogs
well, the
Legion.
couch legs broke, so it's propping up the couch.
Watch Dogs Legion. You collect hackers like Pokemon, and then deploy them on missions, and you play as them on the missions, which is kind of cool because if you think about it, a game where you're Ash and you catch a Pokemon, and then you go assign it some task, and then you play as the Pokemon, that would be pretty cool Pokemon game. And that's basically what you're doing in this game.
And in this case, the AI dude would be Ash.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
Or you could switch the analogy up and say that you're Ash, and you catch other trainers in Pokeballs, and then you assign them on tasks and you play as them.
Until Ash dies, and then you have to follow a different
That is correct. Yes.
permadeath. Dave, there you go. Sold. Dave is sold. Characters have permadeath.
They do have permadeath, so that's kind of cool.
Because I'm wondering how long it's going to be before there's the stream of the guy who kills everyone in the world in the game. Everyone.
Well, I'm
every-
sure that it will spawn new AI just to prevent you from running out of people to recruit. There has to be some kind of I'm just curious if there's a max limit, because what if I do nothing but recruit people all day, every day, and I never actually do the resistance, right? I just recruit people, play through their
I'm
origin
guessing
story.
there's got to be a cap of how many people you can recruit at one time, I would think.
It was pretty big on what they showed, but I'm sorry, playing as the 70-year-old ex-assassin old woman was hilarious. That was
Yeah. I'm wondering how many archetypes there are, because they seem to be leaning heavily into there's like a dozen archetypes or something like that. And really, you're just, whenever your bruiser character dies, you just go recruit another bruiser character, and then you now have another bruiser character you can use to do bruiser
My
missions.
assumption, after thinking about it, it's probably going to be, you know how like the guns are in Borderlands? There's just like tons and tons of stuff, and they're all just slightly different from each other.
Well, yeah, I agree with that on the stat side, But that would be super boring if they do that. I really hope they do more than like 12.
I'd imagine there has to be some fun stuff in there to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I hope so.
I applaud the ambition of it.
It's super ambitious.
I can't
I
wait
have
to see how it.
serious reservations about this game being anything near what it's being sold as.
Hey,
You
they've burned
you're
me.
dirty.
They've burned me twice. I bought both those games and not anything like I expected. This seems like a actual evolution. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I will get it. We will play it. We will review it. But I'm while I am like, oh my god, this is amazing. If they could pull this off, I am also kind of in your camp, Matt, that I am a little bit reserved in my actual opinion of the final game till I see it.
I actually didn't play the second one, but I did enjoy the first one a lot.
I enjoyed
Which is weird
it.
because that's usually the other way around is people didn't like the first one, but then played the second one and really liked it.
I enjoyed both of them, but
Let me live my life, dude. Just let me live my life.
Yeah, neither of them are great by any stretch of the imagination. Then
I mean, then again, I spent like 2 hours chasing around someone just to get a screenshot of them having herpes.
they also picked the most unfortunate date to launch their game possible, March 6th, 2020.
Why does that date sound familiar?
Because on the 3rd, there is another very large 2-disc Blu-ray game launching.
Wait a minute.
Which I still didn't. That announcement was very unclear on exactly what that meant.
It was unclear, but they have clarified it, so I'll get to that.
Yeah.
In a minute. They are doing a Apple TV series called Mystic Quest that it looks like it's going to be a parody of Game Studios and The Office combined. So, could be good. We'll see.
Side note, did you see Apple release like a new monitor?
And the stand is $1,000. It's like, what were they thinking?
Like, I thought that they were getting away from being kind of Apple about everything.
Apparently not.
I mean,
then,
I get it in the sense that if you have a need for a reference monitor, you probably already have a monitor stand that you're going to put this thing on. So not including the stand by default makes sense. Making the stand $1,000
is just a dick move.
Listen. Like, to put that into context more, you're going to be able to what would normally cost about $60,000 for a reference monitor setup and computer setup to actually do live real-time rendering of a effect sequence for a movie that would normally cost about $60,000. All in, including this stupid monitor, you're still talking at about probably $7,000 in total. Maybe 14 depending on the specs of the computer. That's like a huge savings. But yeah, making the stand $1,000 is not the smartest move. I don't know.
Well, it's a brilliant move. It's just ballsy.
It's
that cheese grater design is apparently very, very difficult to create.
Yeah, exactly. I have Kong's Men Operatic. What the hell? I'm thinking it changed something here.
That was when you had a stroke for a moment.
I think so. Kong's Men Operatic.
That was when the heat wave started.
What? No, it was already in full force by then, sadly. Ghost Recon Breakpoint coming October 4th. You get to play and kill Shane, so hooray, from Walking Dead and The Punisher. And then Elite Squad is a mobile game. Just Dance 2020 coming in November, just for you, Dave. Rainbow Six Quarantine.
God, can another game come out in November?
Yeah, Rainbow Six Quarantine is going to be a 3-player tactical co-op. It's basically they took Rainbow Six Siege and then put it into PvE instead. So that's actually fairly interesting, except it's a first-person shooter, so I'm probably going to pass. And then they announced Ubisoft Play for $15 a month. It's PC only, so no consoles, so they're already like 3 generations behind everybody else. And it's will be on Stadia, and They also had Roller Champions that the demo launched today, and then they teased something called Gods and Monsters, and told us nothing about
Looks
it.
pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
there
but-
have been stuff released since that, but yeah.
Oh, really? I haven't seen any of that stuff, so I'd be interested in seeing it because they told us absolutely nothing in that.
Yeah,
in
no,
that
the
teaser.
original presser didn't have anything.
Then we came to probably the best press conference of the lot, which was Square Enix. They started out strong by showing Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay, releasing March 3rd, 2020, with 2 Blu-ray discs for this first section, which will cover Midgar only. Midgar is now an entire game unto itself. So what represented 5% of the original game now represents an entire 2 Blu-ray worth of game in this one. Now, every report I have said that I've seen from the people that have played the demo have said that it is awesome, and that the story. They said that what's the female that's in that first mission with the red hair.
Oh,
Well, anyways, the point is she said she says more in one scene that they're in the demo of than she does in the entire game previously. Biggs and Wedge have a lot more personality fleshed out, and there's apparently like they've expanded on some of the original conversations. Like Barrett is telling Cloud, "I hear the cry of the planet when these people are taking advantage of it." And Cloud is like, "Do you really hear that?" And he's like, "Yes." And he's like, "You need help." And so people are like responding really well to it. So I'm super excited about it, to be honest. They announced the first class edition, collector's edition, which sells for $330, and I will be pre-ordering as well.
I don't know. Did you actually pre-order it, Dave, or no?
The
Playing
what?
whatever you're playing and pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention to what we're saying because this is important.
No, I'm saying which one are you talking about pre-ordering?
The $330.
No,
First
no.
class edition.
No.
I will get it. I'm telling you right now, I will get it. I'm getting it.
No, I actually have a limit.
Did you have a
That
limit
is-
break?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I had to go back and watch the video again. They do actually show limit breaks in that gameplay demo, but they don't talk about them at all.
No, they don't. Then they announced Life is Strange 2 again.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why they did that because that's already like 3 episodes in, and why that trailer made no sense. Other than to spoil people who hadn't played the game yet so far, like myself.
Right, yeah, same here. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Octopath Traveler is traveling to PC. I thought for sure they were going to announce a sequel, but not so much, sadly. Last Remnant Remastered coming to the Switch.
The Switch.
Dave, you aggressive amnesiac?
Yes.
I have that written in my notes.
Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders
Starring
2.
Dave as the aggressive amnesia
Aggressive amnesiac, yes.
with a ponytail.
Dragon Quest 11 Complete S-Class Edition coming to the Switch. Circuit Superstars was a top-down racer that Dave loved. Pre-ordered. Battalion 19 over 44.
I actually started a website trashing it just if I can just prevent like 2 people from buying it, I'll
Kingdom
consider my
Hearts
job.
3 DLC shown off. Final Fantasy 14 expansion shown off. Dying Light 2. Romancing Saga 3. Saga Scarlet Branch Ambitions also coming. War of the Visions. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius announced as a new mobile game.
Dash upper.
Outriders was coming summer 2020. We have no idea what it is yet. They said it's a shooter. but they didn't actually show any gameplay, so who knows. Oninaki was an RPG coming out August 22nd. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered finally coming this year. And then the big reveal that everyone was excited for, the Avengers. And the internet went up in flames afterwards because nobody likes it, and they don't look like the Marvel Cinematic characters, which I knew was not going to happen because they said it was based on the comics. But here's my issue, Matt. Matt said,
"Oh God."
Matt said, if you have an
here's
issue
what
with
grinds my gears.
Yeah, here's what grinds my gears. It's not so much that they don't look like the Avengers from the cinematic universe. I could care less about that. What bugs me is if that you're going out of your way to establish that this is not the cinematic universe, then why are we limited to 5 freaking characters that are the main ones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? We should have... Where's friggin' Wolverine? Where is any of the other main Avengers characters besides these 5? If we're trying that hard to differentiate from the frickin' movies, then how about not having movie people in there? That's my issue. I think they went...
All they had to do to win the show is just have Wonder Man voiced by Nathan Fillion.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all.
I haven't read up. I know there's been some more stuff written on it since it's shown, and I haven't had a chance to read up on it. But I fully expect the roster of characters is going to expand greatly for this game. That's what the free updates that they talked about. I am sure we are going to have a robust roster of characters. I get what you're saying. Why mimic that? It's familiarity, right? I mean, it's
but it's not. Look at their heads. I mean, they were not high-res polygonal.
Yeah, they don't look like they're finished. I mean, again, for the most part, it's a third-person action game. You're not going to be looking at their faces.
Yeah.
Is it?
We don't even know
it
that
is.
for
that
sure.
That much we do know.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Do we?
Well, you would.
Do we
listen
really?
to me, then you would know, and then we would know collectively. Because there was a behind the doors demo for press, and it was a third person action game.
We knew that much, and a lot of people are like, well, why would you come out and say that characters are going to be free? Because they're going to be adding them as you go, and they're going to be adding new playable areas. But we don't know for sure that's like, we know it's got co-op, but we don't even know that you're going to be able to co-op the main story mission. Right?
We know you're not going to be able to pay to win.
Right. We do know that you're not going to be able to pay to win.
Which threw off all kinds of red flags for me.
And there's no loot boxes.
Because I don't like games that joke about that kind of stuff because...
Well, they didn't joke. They said we're not doing it. But they didn't give us enough context to show us that we wouldn't need it.
Right. But that also means, is it that type of game that would usually have that kind of stuff?
The multiplayer mode, from what I'm seeing, is potentially going to be that kind of thing where you'll play a character and you can equip different gear on them and stuff. And it is a completely separate mode from the single player campaign. What it is exactly, I haven't been able to figure out from anything.
And that's my point, right? Is like, they kind of, to me, they kind of really let themselves down with this announcement. They didn't have nearly enough information. They didn't do a good job of disseminating the information that they had in a way that would answer people's questions. They're just like, info dump, we're done. See ya, bye. And it was like, okay.
It's unfortunate timing, I think, of when their releases, because they're going to release in May, which is before the next E3, which means they don't really have another major show unless they were going to use a PlayStation Experience or something like that, assuming there is going to be a PlayStation Experience.
Well, they could have done Gamescom or,
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, they could have. But I think they've got a lot of baking left to do on this game. They've got almost a year of dev left. So there's going to be a lot of things that'll change between now and then. There'll be a lot of stuff that'll get cleaned up between now and then. Banner Hulk seems to be the most finished character
Yes.
design, because when you look at that, there is a ginormous difference in the level of detail between like Banner and Thor.
Yep.
So yeah, we're looking at a work in progress, and they probably don't even know the answers to half of these questions yet. And
Like what kind of game is this?
yeah, well, that could be. I mean, wouldn't be the first time, Anthem. But
Ouch.
Well, so I hate to say it, but watching Iron Man fly immediately brought back all those Anthem flashbacks, right? Like, Anthem is still, like, the gameplay loop is super fun, but I'm now, like, somehow existentially transferring my angst from Anthem onto this game, which I know is not fair, and that's a me thing. But still, I feel like they did not do a really good job of, here's the game, here's why you should care, and here's how it's different than what your expectations may have been.
Hey, you know something? I'm not going to say that that's entirely not fair. I'm actually going to side with you for once on this.
I am in hell. Does that help? This is I'm not going to lie about this. This is since we started... Oh, you can't see. They're phasing out of existence. These are the two, and then I'm on the third now, just from the podcast. I am, like, dying in here.
It's not. I'm not saying it was the best launch ever or anything. There were definitely... It did not give the warm fuzzies that you necessarily want. I am intrigued at the concept of the single player, if for no other reason than the cast they put together, because you generally don't drop a cast of that magnitude unless you've got a serious story to tell.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. That's my point.
But it's one of those things, like, they're talking about, like, the whole, like, when you have a game like that, when you have the chance to tell, like, a really great interactive story with these, great characters and everything, that we can do a whole bunch of stuff, and then they're talking about this, like, multiplayer aspect, which is a whole different game. Like, it just...
I look at it like, if they can do what, say, Last of Us did, and you can play the single player completely by itself and never touch the multiplayer, or you can go into the multiplayer, which for that one happened to be excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, Doom, nobody played the multiplayer in Doom for more than like 5 minutes and then quit. So, I mean, but that game is still hugely respected and loved amongst, gamers, because the single player campaign was so tight. So the fact that there's multiplayer stuff in here,
Well, but
I always worry that takes away, because Last of Us I don't really count that so much, because the multiplayer on that clearly was not the focus of the entire game.
Right.
And I worry that a lot of people, like, they knew that they bolted that on, and it didn't, like, I mean, it was relatively easy to do with the way the game worked and everything. So they didn't have to, like, try. I don't want to minimize the effort, but it didn't create, like, a significant burden on them, to put that up. However, I worry that this is actually, like, taking resources away from stuff.
There are at least 3 teams working on this, so
oof.
See,
that's rough.
And my 2 final complaints about this thing, or issues that I have...
You are either in front of your mic or something, because you have gone to a cave.
Really? How about now?
Yeah, now you're better.
Okay. So the 2 issues that I have remaining with this thing are 2 complete separate things. Well, 3. Number 1, if there is co-op in the story mode, what happens if both of us want to play Thor? Number 2, they didn't answer that. No, how do you know? Are you sure?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes. Yes.
Do we? No,
yes.
we don't.
Huey?
Number two, and this is not a spoiler if you've watched the trailer, so go watch the trailer. We'll pause. Okay. It is fully insinuated that Captain America dies in that trailer before the 5-year jump. And if that's the case, what happens if you want to play Captain America in story mode? You just can't? because he's dead. Because if what you just said is true, Dave, then you can't play friggin' Captain America. Even if he does, even
would you
if he
want
does
to?
look like,
It wasn't Chris Evans, so I don't want to.
Does look like the Marvel Ultimate, whatever that fighting game was a little while ago. I mean, it's roid Captain America. He's
Marvel
like,
versus Capcom.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, Capcom Infinite or whatever it was.
He did look a little bit like Leafield.
Yeah,
He was a little Leafield cap.
No, he was wearing like bulky armor. I don't know that he himself was that bulky.
Stop defending it.
I'm not. I'm trying to remember. I'm just thinking.
No, I just looked at it again today. He's pretty beefy looking. It is partially the armor. You are right, but still, it's and Thor's wearing some weird armor too. It's not even
that's a comic design. That was a 2005 to 8 design.
Well, so that actually comes to like my other criticism here, and it's when they showed off Hank Pym as the extra character that was coming soon. Why was it not Hank Pym? Why was it, if they're doing the comics, why would you pick 2005 Thor, his outfit? Why would you not make them comics actually recognizable from their periods in the comics and then go with that? Here we've got Hank Pym wielding a gun to shrink things. No, he's freaking Ant-Man or Giant Man, and he has that built into his suit. So it just doesn't make any sense contextually to me. That's all. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm not saying.
Hey, they're just trying to make it their own, dude.
Well, but make it your own. They had all of Marvel Comics to pull from, and they
let's engage rational brain cells for a moment. If Captain America does actually die in the opening sequence of the game, they're going to have an alternate Captain America, whether it's Bucky or Sam or what was the other super soldier guy that went crazy?
U.S. agent.
Yeah. I can't think of his name, but they're going to have a shield wielder in the game for you to play.
He just said the name, U.S. agent.
Well, but the actual character's name, Jack.
Something. Yeah, got it.
It was Mehoff.
No, Dave. Bad Dave.
That's a cut beyond my.
Don't spend another second thinking about it. He's gonna get us taken down from YouTube. You unsavory gentleman. All right.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Wow.
How much alcohol have you consumed?
Enough.
So that's coming May 16th, 2020. And then last but not least, I took no notes for it, but I can tell you the two most important things. Panzer Dragoon coming to
Hold on a second. You skipped over Devolver.
I did not take notes for Devolver. But the short answer is they released a launcher that allows you to buy rip-offs of their own games.
At 1% off.
At 1% off.
Yeah, that's a legit thing.
Which is hilarious. And that was about it.
And the chick couldn't swear because she was a construct.
That's right.
And they went all Robocopy and Terminator with their presentation.
Which is fine. They can totally do that.
Yeah.
I will say that, what's it called? Carrion. Is it Carrion? Is that what it's called?
That looked good.
That game looked good.
Yeah. And then the Nintendo conference, they didn't do like a whole lot. They did show that they have Panzer Dragoon remake coming to the Switch, which is awesome. And then the other big surprise announcement was Dark Crystal Tactics.
Yeah.
Which Dave had just been complaining during the Square Enix conference that Square Enix was not releasing Final Fantasy Tactics, but instead we get Dark Crystal Tactics.
I'm a little worried about that one after watching the trailer again. It looks really mobile-y.
So it's made by the dev team that does Terra, the MMO.
Okay.
So we should be safe from mobily? Should being the operative phrase?
That was good timing.
I was wondering if they actually got Frank Oz to do the Agra voice or not. It was really close. If it wasn't him, it was a very, very good impersonator.
Yeah. And then they showed... Oh, go ahead.
Well, the other one that I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but again, I never actually finished the game, so maybe this makes complete sense, but a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. I mean, I get a sequel to Breath of the Wild. I mean, I get another Zelda game in that format. That I understand. I'm a little befuddled at the continuance of the exact Breath of the Wild timeline.
Well, it seems that the world is going to hell in a handbasket and zombies are animating.
Well, and that zombie looks like a previous Zelda, which really kind of made my head hurt too.
That could be. That would be interesting.
So, yeah, I'm intrigued, but also kind of confused. Another thing we don't know anything about, other than we saw Link
Sorry about
and
that cat
Zelda.
issue.
The cat had to puke.
And it'll be out in 27 years.
Yeah, we don't know who's playable. We don't know exactly what's going on except the black miasma over the world.
I mean, when you think about it, it took their to do Breath of the Wild, it took their entire dev team and then some multiple years to make the game. So I have
I did not like the wording on that where they just said the next Zelda is in production or starting production.
They're using the same map, the same engine, the same everything. I mean, this should be about the easiest thing to knock out that they could possibly do, technically at least.
I have 2 words for you: Nintendo.
Yeah.
Isn't that 3 actually Nintendo?
I've got 2 different words for you.
Oh.
Oh dear. I will say, as far as other things, Mitchell was very confused by the Three Houses trailer because he thought he knew what that game was going to be, and that trailer kind of completely destroyed his concept of what he thought that game was going to be.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was actually right there in the boat with him because I was like, oh, it's going to be more fire. No, this looks horribly different.
So, yeah. So, while he did pre-order the double pack for Sword and Shield, he has not yet pre-ordered his Fire Emblem Three Houses. So, we'll see.
Yeah, what exactly... Do we know exactly what type of game that is?
A Nintendo game.
Yes. For the Switch.
Yeah.
The Switch.
They did announce that you will be able to import Pokemon into Sword and Shield. They did say that not all will be able to be imported. So, Dave, you can import them all. Well,
yeah, but as long as I can, as long as I can get my,
shiny Jigglypuff.
Yeah, my murder puff, we're going to be okay.
Murdery puff.
Yeah, exactly.
I really kind of want to demand you stream this now. I mean, starting out level 1. Yeah. Starting out level 1 with a murder puff, level 9,001.
If I can, I will.
That needs to be seen by all.
Because I am extremely proud of my...
Murder puff.
Yeah. 2 of them, because I got the Wiggly Tuff, too.
So typically, Dave, are you you take your starter all the way through, or are you one of those who abandons your starter once you find one you prefer better?
Yeah, you know something? I'm really bad with abandoning my starters because I just get attached.
It's hard to do, or bad as in you do it a lot?
No, it's hard to do because I get attached. Like I feel obligated that, he should always be there.
Yeah, there was a debate I saw on something today. I don't remember where it was, but there was somebody who didn't realize some people don't keep their starter all the way through and abandon it as soon as they find one that they like better, and that started some debate as to.
And what about you, Matt? Answer the question.
I've never played a Pokemon game, so I can't answer the question.
I don't know why I just assumed you guys were like did play them before.
Mitchell's played them.
I played Yellow.
I have anxiety about games like that. It's the same reason I own 4 Suikoden games and have not played any of them.
Which is sad.
Because
which is so sad.
I know.
So
I just get this anxiety about that collection aspect, and it gets in my head, and I can't even start.
Now I know why you don't want to play Legion. Watch Dogs Legion.
Nice.
Because I will be that guy recruiting the entire city of London.
I actually don't really. I can't say I bother too much with having to actually like collect them all. Like usually, I just do enough that I can murder them all.
That's not as great a tagline as "Gotta catch them all." It's
not
interested enough to catch them all.
I realize that, but I'm just I just do what I can to just slaughter wholesale.
We all remember the stories about me putting off playing The Witcher 3 for like 3 years because I got stuck doing nothing but collecting flowers for like 3 hours when I started it the first time.
Flower Picture Simulator 2016. It's great.
Oh my god, I'm seriously embarrassed at how long I spent farming those Jigglypuffs for what I did in the Let's Go games.
But at least you picked a game where it's easy to farm them, as opposed to the normal games where farming would be much more difficult.
Ish. I mean, it's not like.
Well, no, but you at least know that when you run into a Jigglypuff, you're running into a Jigglypuff in the Let's Go games. If you're just wandering around in wild grass, you could all of a sudden run into something that breaks your chain, and then you got to start over again.
Right, but there's still like other things still pop up and can jump into you, and if you're like not paying attention, and you actually like start the fight with it and don't like run away right away.
As I said, you pick the game where it is easier to do.
Yeah, ish. There was still work involved.
I didn't say easy. I didn't say there wasn't. I said easier.
And just cramming that thing full of steroids. Oh man, that was effort.
I'm surprised PETA didn't come after you.
They should.
Mark's just like, what are we doing? I've lost control. What's going on? I don't know.
All right, that's gonna bring us to final thoughts because we're running out of time for this episode.
We didn't do our favorite moment.
Favorite E3 moments, top 3. Matt.
First moment. Mark realized.
No, do it backwards, like from number 3 to number 1.
Yeah. This is 3 to 1, but number 3. Mark realizing that Stadia is not Netflix and canceling his pre-order.
And then telling everybody else to cancel
their pre-order, which I hadn't even pre-ordered, so I was fine. 2, oh shoot! Now I just lost it.
Dip, 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 dip.
Yip, 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 yip. Oh, Ghostwire.
Oh, yeah.
No idea what it is, but it looks freaking awesome. The closest thing I've seen to Parasite Eve in like ever.
Yeah.
And then number 1, I'm sure Mark thinks I'm going to say Avengers, but it is Final Fantasy VII. Just seeing that is real. It has a date. There are some kind of crazy questions as to exactly how you can make a 2 Blu-ray disc full of game of just Midgard. I'm still not sure that makes any sense, but it won't be till we get it, till we see it. The jive talking, Mr. T, Barrett,
he was toned down a little bit.
Aerith. It just the music alone. I mean, just the music that they sampled for that section in the trailers and stuff is just amazing. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. There's some concerning stuff that's come out since with like, when was the next game going to come out? We don't know. Have you started
Yeah.
developing yet? Not really.
No, they said they're planning the second one now.
They're planning the second one now. Yeah.
And
Is the second one the last one?
No.
We don't know.
No, they flat out said we don't know how many this is going to be.
Right,
Which means
exactly.
that I'll be dead before they're all out. I'm just telling you.
I'm one to be appreciative of not over planning, but not even having a rough idea of how many games this thing is going to span. That's scary. Because we're going to get a 80-hour game of nothing but the life and times of Vincent.
Not seeing a problem here.
Nice.
And then there will be a full Yuffie minigame where it's nothing but you going around doing a Connect 3 puzzle game to steal materia from everyone else in the world.
Not seeing a problem there either. Chocobo Racing 2027 is going to be off the hook.
We're all going to have arthritis and not able to hold a controller by the time this thing is said and done. But
What?
Shut up.
Nice.
Dave, top 3
yeah.
E3 moments for 2019.
I mean, mine are going to be much smaller in scale. I was really excited to see. I was in disbelief when I first saw that it was Panzer Dragoon making a return. I was like, no, this is impossible, because there was a knockoff Panzer Dragoon game a couple years back. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Nope.
Somebody did kind of like in this vein of like, it was like involved the developers or something like that, or the art, whatever, something. And I thought it was just like maybe that, or just somebody just like aping the style. So I'm very excited to see that making a return, as an old, Saturn guy. I actually think, and this is going to be kind of a lame one, Luigi's Mansion 3
No, that's not lame. It looks good.
looks way better than I thought it was going to be. That game looks so much fun, and I'm actually looking forward to that a lot. And as far as like top E3 moments, you got to give it to Keanu. That whole thing, they kept that. I mean, how many companies are able to keep secrets like that? Like, that doesn't happen very often. So just having something like that just build excitement for the show was pretty huge. So that was kind of cool.
Sam Grizzle says, worst moment of E3, AMD's RX 5700 clocking in at $450. Yeah, but that was on the PC show and nobody watched that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Is this where I go? PC gaming? Never mind. I can't even do it with a straight face anymore.
Don't even do it with a straight face. My top 3, number 3 was Watch Dogs Legion. That was probably because I guess it got leaked everywhere, but I was staying off of the internet pretty much beforehand because I wanted to go into these cold. So I did not see any of that. So that was.
Oh yeah, you. That's why you reacted the way you did. Because
I had no idea what was going on. And
that got leaked like a week ahead of time. So
nope, never saw it. I don't know how, but I never saw it. And then so that was a genuine surprise to me. Number 2 for me was that Final Fantasy VII remake. It wasn't the glitz. It was actually, hey, let's show you how this works. And the fact that you have active time battle that will actually pause the game so that you can go and figure out what you want to do, that allayed all my fears for pretty much the entire thing. So I'm totally down with that.
2 ATB bars.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful. And then number 1 for me, Keanu Reeves, Cyberpunk. It was a huge best kept secret, but probably the only legitimate holy shit moment of the entire show. Everyone was losing their crap. It didn't matter if they were in the stadium or watching at home. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Keanu Reeves," and you're beautiful or attractive or whatever the guy says.
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking, yes, thank you. So yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk is still probably like one of my most anticipated games. So I'm super excited about those 3 games, respectively. I really kind of thought I was going to come out of this E3 without any games that I was really looking forward to. So that's 3 more. And when you add on Dark Crystal Tactics and Panzer Dragoon, suddenly it's looking like I may have things to play in the next year. So that's good.
I have a hard time believing that you honestly thought after the last 3 years we've had, you would have a year where there would be nothing for you to play.
Yeah, I'm calling shenanigans on that one right now.
What's coming up?
Shenanigans.
What's coming up this year?
Shenanigans.
No, I'm serious.
Shenanigans.
What's coming up this year? Because there's not a lot on my radar right now.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I mean, there's like games coming out every week that I want to play. But I mean, I'm totally destroying like the indie stuff.
Right. I get it.
You know,
Yeah,
lately.
if you're talking about headlining stuff, there's got to be stuff coming out that we don't know about yet. I mean, you've got your normal annualized stuff, obviously. There's Death Stranding.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance you're going to be
Marvel
playing
Ultimate Alliance.
the hell out of, and that's like recent.
That is one. Yes, that is true. I will be picking up that one. But beyond that,
See?
I really
don't turn this into a podcast of lies.
No, I'm not. Because beyond Marvel Ultimate Alliance, there's nothing on my radar that I am aware of until maybe November. Which is unusual for this time of year. Normally there's a bunch of stuff that hits late summer that it's just bang, 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 leading right up to the Christmas season. And I don't even have anything for the proper Christmas season right now that I can think of.
Well, yeah, that's because everything's coming out in November.
Right, which is weird. So, I don't know. It just seems like this year has a gap in it of stuff I'm looking forward to, and that's not normal. So, I'm glad I got head over heels in the Path of Exile when I did, because that's going to carry me through. So...
And not work on any of the games that you've never bothered to finish that are amazing and you should finish.
Don't know what you're talking about. All right, final thoughts. Dave, how about your final thought?
Well, I don't know. I got nothing. I don't even know why I'm here.
Dave is drunk. That is his final thought.
No. I'm not. I'm really not. But I don't know. I just feel like such a...
The cat, on the other hand, is plastered.
Yeah, probably. No, I just feel like I'm playing all this like weird stuff anymore. Like I just don't feel like I belong anywhere.
I don't get that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're playing games, which is more than I could say for you in the last 10 years of our relationship. So it's great that you're playing games.
He's not talking about the husband and wife part. He's just talking about...
Nice.
So yeah, there's that brief period before the annulment, but yeah, that would actually land smack dab in the middle of my actual marriage, which would probably be problematic. But anyway, yeah. I mean, there is so much stuff, and it's of any style. I mean, that's why with Mark's statement, yeah, okay, there may be not quite so many big banner fireworks and whatever games, but there's just tons of games dropping constantly that are across the spectrum, and you're hitting a part of that spectrum. I mean, I haven't gotten to play any of the Metroidvanias that came out in the last year, and there have been some freaking amazing Metroidvanias that have come out in the last.
Really, like the Time Splitter one is.
I haven't even heard of that one. I don't even know what that is.
It just popped up. It just popped up on my. I don't know how actually. I just saw an article, and people were just saying like, this game should just be billed as Castlevania. Like they clearly love Symphony of the Night.
This will put it in the context. I was getting ready to do one of the E3 shows with Dave, and he's playing a game, and I said, "Are you playing Castlevania?" Because that sounds like Castlevania. And he started cackling. He's like, "No, it's this game called Time Splitters." and people are saying it should be billed as Castlevania. And I do not play those games, and I was like, is that Castlevania? It sounds like Castlevania.
They totally. I mean, it's not even. They're not even ashamed of it. Like, it is a clear, like, that's what they're going for. You know.
Speaking of Castlevania, how is it that you do not own all 3 of the Konami collections at this point, Dave?
Actually, I don't like the old Castlevania games. So that. Yeah.
And your excuse for Contra?
Contra, I'm actually looking to pick up.
And your excuse for the arcade collection?
The arcade one.
You broke Mark.
Wow.
You control alt delete in his brain.
What happened?
That last water had the Joker's
You don't
used
like
in
the
it.
old ones. Oh my god, what the hell? They're the same freaking game. They're the same game.
There is a significant turn.
God, no.
There is the pre-Symphony of the Night and the post-Symphony of the Night Castlevanias. They're actually very different.
Hugely different.
All right, if you say so.
Yeah, one takes skill.
That would be the old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying you have a lack of said skill?
Yes.
Okay, I followed.
Yeah, I love the idea where I get lost and overpowered.
The old ones are hard. I mean, that's why I haven't picked it up. I love the idea of having those old Castlevania games, but they are way too hard for my old man reflexes.
I will be checking out the Contra collection.
Simply for the Super Probotector version that's on there or something, right?
Yeah, there's some neat stuff on there. I think it'd be cool. And what was this arcade collection? I think I probably missed that one.
That was the first one that dropped. That had like all the Gradius, Salamander. I'm forgetting what else was on there, but it had their arcade shooters from the day when you put coins into a box to play video games.
Oh yeah, didn't Konami do like Russian Attack and stuff too?
Yeah, I don't think that one's on there though.
Oh, well, that sucks.
You'd have to look though. I don't remember what was on there.
But
again, old man reflexes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Was
then that was Dave's final thought. So Matt, your final thoughts.
Oh, my final thought. I am so freaking far behind on comic books it isn't even funny.
Did you know that the Immortal Hulk now has wait, is it Immortal Hulk? Is that the new one?
Immortal Hulk, yes.
Yes. That it has 6 trades already?
Yeah, because they broke it up really weird.
I didn't realize that it was that far along.
Well, it's only issue 19. Issue 19 came out this week. So they broke it up really weird. Because the early versions, which I don't have first printings of because our shop got screwed out of them, so most of them I have second printings of, are like $100 books now.
Nice. I mean, not nice that you got screwed out of them, but nice that they have increased in value.
Yeah, I mean, this was their sleeper hit. They somehow did not know what they had on their hands when they started the printing on this book. Or they did, and they wanted to appease the greater market. I don't know which, but...
So your final thought?
My final thought is I wanted to validate Dave's existence and let him know that all games, as long as they aren't on a phone, are actually a game and are to be loved and counted among all of them.
As long as they aren't on a phone.
No, even if they're on a phone, that counts. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Oh, that was great.
Well, it was hilarious because the other day there was this, what was it? It was an ad for something and it sounded like...
Sam, thanks for sticking with us. You've got no reason to. We're just...
Wow.
I forget what the game was, but anyway, there was a game where I was like, okay, this is kind of up my alley. I'm going to do this. I download it. Within the first 30 seconds, it has proven itself to be a mobile-ass game for mobile-ass gamers, and I deleted it off my phone.
Okay.
I was actually hankering for like the old days. Like, remember when Angry Birds was a thing and it was fun?
My final thought is we are actually starting a new podcast. I don't have an exact block on the times and dates. It's probably going to be on Friday evenings, but it is called Wrestling Smart Mark, and we just play on words because my name's Mark, and we're
I got that.
Yeah,
I got that reference.
Oh wow! All right, and so we're gonna do that on Friday nights. Just talk about the week in wrestling, and it'll be rough when there's nothing but WWE stuff because I don't have a lot of good things to say, sadly, because their product is really sucking wind. But we will talk about all wrestling, whether it's NJPW, WWE, or AEW. So check us out, most likely on Friday nights at 7 p.m., I believe. At this point is where that's looking like it may come out. We just did a 4-hour started at midnight and ended at 4 a.m. Live reaction show so that you could see our reactions as they unfolded during the NJPW Dominion pay-per-view. Since they're in Japan 18 hours ahead of us, that started at midnight our time and ended at 4 a.m. and you can watch me get a little bit more and more progressively punch drunk as time goes on in the show. But it was a great show, and so lots of reactions there. And we'll end the show, as we always do, with a sage piece of wisdom to carry you through your week. Dave.
No.
Dave, why don't oysters give to charity?
Because they have the consistency of snot.
No.
Because they don't have the clams?
No, although that's good. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is because they're shellfish.
Yeah, I like Matt's way better.
Until next week, for Matt, Dave, and myself, thanks for watching and game on.
Game on.
Game on. Is it another clams?
Mobile games aren't games.